Liverpool versus Manchester City. Liverpool flying, Manchester City fading. Liverpool can go 11 points clear. City are 6 without a win. Threw away a 3-goal lead on Wednesday night at home to Feyenoord. Now then, Man City manager Pep Guardiola admits the run of form is not good, but believes they can leave it behind them and get back to winning ways.
Might happen in longer. I've said many times in a long careers, when you are 9, 10 years, 11 years, you leave all the situations. Fortunately, we leave the situation rarely. A few times we're in the other part on the side, but I take it like a normal. So I'm not so. Of course, I'm. Thinking what we can do, what can I do to the players to help them. But in a long career as a football player and manager for many years, you leave these situations. So at the end, we lost 5 games and draw the last one. We should have win yes or yes. So, but it's happened. Football sometimes they said, what can happen? It's happened. So don't think much, I would say, in these situations. Go to the principles. And when you leave it, accept it.
Henry, I said in the intro that Man City are fading, Liverpool are flying, and that I couldn't remember the last time that people were saying, don't fancy City's chances today for any game. I mean, even at Liverpool, which has now become one of the great rivalries. Yeah, I cannot see any positive for them today.
But City have had issues at Anfield going back quite a few seasons.
Yeah, but we don't say, when they go, we don't usually say, well, I totally expect them to get beat. We always think they're going to change it. This time, it just doesn't feel like that.
Yeah, but recent history shows that they've won only one of their last 21 league visits to Anfield.
Fair enough then.
I'm just saying that it's not a sort of recent phenomenon in terms of the Kop will be up for it. There'll be a welcome. It will be lively, and it will be difficult, as you say. Even without Kanate, Bradley's out as well. Trent Alexander comes back in as well. Liverpool are in such a good place. Alisson's, when Alisson's not fit, Kelleher comes in and he's been outstanding. He will walk into most Premier League teams. The midfield, Curtis Jones has trained on. He's always a coltish thoroughbred, but he's trained on superbly under Arne Slot. Alexis McAllister, I still don't think he always gets the praise because he does the simple, important stuff so effectively, getting the ball, giving it. And then obviously Mo Salah is just sensational up front.
Well, McAllister might not get the praise because Salah is so dominant at the moment. Actually, we didn't get a chance to talk about it just earlier on, but already it's starting to feel like Salah v Saka for Player of the Year.
Yeah, I mean, Salah, I guess, is more prolific, but Saka has just been fantastic. The one thing is, look, Saka is a sensational player who is having all his qualities enhanced when Odegaard is close by. You look at a player like Mo Salah, and he just makes magic on his own. I mean, that pace, some of his breakaways. And this is the thing about this Arne Slot team, because when he came in, all the sort of the pieces and all the narrative it's all about Liverpool being more in control, less adrenaline, less rock and roll than under Jurgen Klopp. But actually, there are few teams who break as quickly as they do, and so devastating. I think Pep was talking about it. If they've got an attacking corner, Liverpool turn the ball over, and just sort of head upfield just so quickly and so devastatingly.
There's lots of discussion in the papers about this game, not surprisingly, and lots of different angles, and you picked out a few.
Well, Danny Murphy's column's always a good read in the Mail on Sunday, and the headline is "Why Pep Trumps Fergie as best boss in Premier League history."
That's because he's from Liverpool.
No, actually, so there are a succession of caveats high up in the piece, and he's talking about, Ferguson. He talks about Ferguson's greatness, absolutely, but then he suggests, and rightly, that Pep's impact on English football, so the tactical innovations and all those elements, have just been huge. But I still think for trophies, for just defining 2 decades effectively, you would have Sir Alex Ferguson as better than Pep.
Pep, in theory, could have a few more years yet to challenge that. What will you be saying if he's still there? I'm not saying it will be. It seems unlikely in 6 years' time.
Yeah, and he gets another Champions League, obviously.
When he's masterminded them coming back from National League North back to the Premier League.
That's right. That will be a Netflix series. That will be extraordinary. And you know what? I bet their fans would turn up and support that. Their fans who were there, the famous Macclesfield days of yore.
Some of them would quite like that.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, what a journey it will be. The point Danny's making is very much it from a Premier League perspective. I also think, I wonder whether Pep would love another tilt at the Champions League. Actually get to the final.
I'm sure it would. There's an article by Riethel Samurai, also in the Mail on Sunday, which says, here's the real head-scratcher for Pep. How did he let this team of stars become gutless strollers? And they highlight City not exactly racing back for what was Feyenoord's equaliser when they came back from 3-0 down.
Well, two of the organisers that we always mention, particularly Rodri. Rodri wouldn't have allowed that. He's just he demands it. He's two players. He's
Go Rodri. He hasn't played a game this season. You get him in every week.
Well, it's one of the reasons why he got voted the Ballon d'Or, because of his influence. And then your old friend Ruben Diaz as well, organiser at the back. He wouldn't tolerate some of the poor positioning.
Harry Redknapp in The Sun says Salah's leaving. Absolutely, he's off. But he's left a fabulous body of work, and they've probably got players who can come in and replace him. Who
can replace Mo Salah? I mean, seriously. Ben Doak is 19, so it's not going to come from
maybe
from
it means
within.
As a team, as a collective, maybe.
That's a lot of assists and a lot of goals to be replacing, and a lot of leadership. I mean, I think he's a very different. I mean, FSG, I'm sure they will look at that and say, well, there is someone out there who they're going to get Rodrigo out of Real Madrid. Is he a suitable replacement for Mo Salah? I think it's a really difficult thing. Whatever he is asking, and I'm sure it's as much about the length of the deal as the money, you're going to still have to pay a huge amount of sums to get him in. To get a replacement in. I just don't see who there is there. I don't see how the numbers would add up to allow him to go and then replace him with someone else.
When we saw that City were 3-0 up against Feyenoord in the week, there was a bit of, they're sorted now. I know it was Feyenoord on a mega strength team, but they're all right, 3-0 up. It's okay, looking good. They've sorted it, wasn't it? That was the sort of feeling, and you'd go into this match thinking, set your back, so could go out the way. Notwithstanding, they've only won one of the last 21 league games there, didn't you?
Yeah, well, yeah, absolutely. You thought they'd be back, and then, but as the point you made that there were one or two changes, players were taken off, and then is there a psychological brittleness at the moment, which I think possibly there is, but that but they've got too many good players.
Prediction for today: you're analysing sort of 5 defeats. 1 draw, everybody thinking they're going to get rolled over, you highlighting those stats. I suppose it would be just typical daft football for City to come away with a win. But if you're putting your house on it, it's a big house, what would you...
2-1 Liverpool.
But do you think you're going to see signs of a City resurgence going forward?
Well, if they don't fight, then they're going to get absolutely battered.
But that's that
Liverpool
point Riaz was
good.
making about sort of strolling around, which is... It's just not them, is it? I mean, it's race around, get the ball back and turn it around, which is not happening.
No, and that is going to be his key decision, who he plays in central midfield, because they absolutely need more steel in there.
I don't know. I think City might sneak a draw.
Really?
There's no logic to it, but I just think football's a bit daft this season.
But you said they're in the biggest crisis since 1926.
Well, maybe this is going to get them out of it.
On AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.